Hi guys, it's Jared here. I hope you're all doing well and keeping it together in 2022. I want this to be a direct, straight from the heart video. I don't want it to be too downbeat. I want it to be optimistic and happy. But there's also, I'm kind of doing this for my own personal healing as well as talking to you guys. So first of all, I'd like to say thank you for Richard for letting me to put out this video out on the channel. There's been some changes that have taken place that I know Richard has talked about last year, and I don't know if he's going to do a little introduction to this video or not if you're watching on Paranormal Now, or if you'd like to say something. But I just want to say thank you to Richard for his support and everything. We're still good friends. Nothing bad has happened sort of behind the scenes. There's been no bust ups or blowouts, or we haven't been hunted down by the state or anything else like that. We're good, right? We're good. Last year I abruptly left, and Richard had the unfortunate job of announcing to you guys that I had taken a step back. And first of all, I want to apologise to anyone that was affected by that, because I know there's quite a few comments that Richard has received on the channel, but I want to kind of explain what happened from my point of view. And I don't want to go into too much detail because a lot of it is personal, and I don't want to sort of, bring up any sort of red flags or anything else like that. I just kind of want to speak from the heart, what was happening to me. And to be perfectly honest, I didn't actually realise at the time that something was happening to me. It's only sort of now, a year and a half later, or a year and a bit later, going back through the old videos, that I can see that it was genuinely, I wasn't in a good way. And this was reflecting in my behaviour towards people. It was reflecting in my attitudes towards the comments. It was reflecting in me on screen. And that was because, to be perfectly honest with you, I was making the videos, I was enjoying the process, but I was getting to the point that I was doing it as a means of escaping what I was truly feeling. And throughout all of this time working in the paranormal, it has had a profound and real effect. And most of the time when I was making videos, it was my way of fictionalizing it. And when things happen to us that cause us, mental health issues, there's only so long you can hide from it before it starts to veer its way to the surface. And other people, started to see this. It was impacting on my relationships. It was impacting on my family. It was impacting on me in general. And it took a very long time for me to even come to terms with what has happened, and how much COVID, for example, and lockdown, as a visually impaired person, had knocked my confidence, knocked my self-esteem, knocked my ability to do simple tasks, like getting on a bus and going to visit a friend, or certain things like that. It was really majorly impacted, and to a certain point still is. So making the videos was kind of a way of me empowering myself. But what I found was I was going deeper and deeper into rabbit holes which weren't very nice, and had an outcome really that it would be like running down a dark alley and you hit a wall at the end, and you didn't, it was time for things to slow down, and for the actual impact of everything that we experienced, everything we documented on the channel, but also everything that we'd gone through, to actually sit down and go, this isn't just something you're making to tell people a story. This is happening. This is part of your life. This is something that you've had to go through. And it's quite profound sometimes when, I'll give you an example, like the videos I did about talking to my brother through the ghost box. That is talking to someone after their physical death. And it's one of the things that people would wish for. Everyone would wish for it. But when it actually starts to happen, it does something. It creates something. It creates like a paradox in your mind, and you're kind of open to all sorts of influences and interpretations. And there was, you know, I was doing it at a point where a lot of darkness was around me. And, you know, that darkness has been around us all. And that darkness we've spoke of on many occasions. And it was just a case of like, right, this has to be addressed. Because the way you address any darkness is you shine light upon it. It doesn't matter how that, you know, how dark that feels, because any experience we have is impacted on us and how we interpret it. And if we're kind of hiding from that, then we find ourselves in a position where, you know, we are no longer in control of the ship anymore. And basically the captain has left, and you know, disaster is striking, and you don't even realise that the waves the waves are coming in and the storm's coming in. So it was literally like a trigger, and you know, Richard had hell for it at the time, but he kind of had to alert me in a very short, sharp way that, you know, this is something real and is having a real impact. And it takes, to be honest with you guys, it takes a fucking good friend to do that. It does, like, it takes a lot. Because you know, I did give him shit over it, like, I did, I did. And it took me a while to come to realise that what he was seeing, that was the only option kind of left. And I look at some of the videos now. There's one video in particular I'm kind of ashamed at, because Rich kind of gave some bad news that affected someone on the channel, and I don't even respond to it. I don't even acknowledge it. And I'm like, that's not me. That's not the person I am. And, you know, so we mutually decided, and we continued. Everything has continued as normal, but after a few weeks, we kind of mutually decided that it's best that I stepped away. And Richard did a fantastic job, an amazing job at, you know, I'm a little bit annoyed, to be honest, because it's all this editing for so long, and then he actually comes up with some, you know, some pretty good work, like, and I'm like, if you do it, man, it was good. It was good to see. He did some wonderful UFO videos, did some videos on investigations. I know he's going to continue doing videos on the Paranormal Now channel, and I'm hoping that we will continue to work together, you know, throughout the coming years. But it's going to be in a different way, and that is because I need to change my focus, and we need to sort of explore our own path separately, but also kind of honour what we've done in the past and what we've been through as well. And there was a time when we did this before we started the YouTube channel, and it's now sort of gone back to that, and that is absolutely fine. I was originally quite taken aback by the idea of starting something new and starting something again, but I've kind of come to realise it's the right thing to do. So I've bought a domain name, and I am setting up a new website and a new YouTube channel under the name, we're bringing it back from the past, Spiritual Worlds. Now, some of you who have followed us for years, and if you have, my God, thank you so much, because, wow. But some of you who have followed us for years might have known that before Paranormal Now, and as we actually met Richard, and Richard was starting Paranormal Now, I was running a site called Spiritual Worlds, and for the first year of running the YouTube channel, we had, you would find that the programming had a dual presentation. I would always say presented by Paranormal Now and Spiritual Worlds. And then someone decided to create a bit of problem with our domain names. We literally went a day over on the domain name renewal, and the next thing we know, we're going to Paranormal Now, the original site, on the original Spiritual World site, and both of them were selling granny slippers, which is not what we were in the business of doing. So it was then collectively decided that we would sort of join forces and focus on the one channel rather than focusing on the two. And now it's just become time for us to to split that focus again. and that I think is actually something that can be quite exciting. So the new YouTube channel, it's my old YouTube channel called Spiritual Worlds. I'm going to be working on. I think we are going to bring back the Now debate, and we're going to do it as a dual broadcast. We have had discussions about that, and I'm going to be doing some podcasts myself, and I'm going to be working sort of more on a deep dive. I kind of want to explore a lot of these concepts, because one of the things I realised was there was this kind of thinking that kind of the New Age movement kind of got hedged into over the course of the last decade, and how we decode this information that we're getting, and how we sort of bring about, our understanding of what it's like to go through these spiritual shifts or paranormal experiences. I kind of want to go into sort of deep diving, bringing it back into the real world, bringing it back into showing evidence of certain things, whether these belief systems stack up or whether they don't, and how much we can actually attribute real world concepts to what's actually happening and going on around us. So I'm going to be doing videos on spiritual awakening and talking about how it's a gradual process and how it's actually affecting all of us, and dispelling a lot of that crap that I heard around the pandemic time, which was, it's us and them, we're going off to the new earth and we're leaving them behind, and all this sort of divisive nonsense that was coming out of the spiritual community. So I want to go into sort of a lot of sense making. I also want to do some paranormal videos on my own, and I'm going to obviously be doing ITC still, and we've started to get back into that, and we've had some interesting messages so far, but also sort of going back to our archives, and because we're kind of going to be working, I will keep my I will, allow other people to use the sessions that I do, or the archives from the past are going to be open to the both of us to use. So Richard might want to make some videos of his own, and then you can get the both of our representations of what's going on. So it'll become a collaborative effort. And I also want to sort of bring in, some of the people that we talk to on the Paranormal Now channel, start bringing other people, maybe doing weekly shows with guests and that sort of thing. But also working with you guys, offering my mediumship more as a service, offering, doing sort of tarot work, doing spiritual development, offering sort of, meaningful videos that can help people. Paranormal Now, let's call it 1.0 then, because there may be a 2.0 at some point, was about showing people the paranormal, was about showing that this thing is real. This next part now is about how we deal with it. And that's going to be a work in progress, because I am very much still asking those questions. How do we deal with it? So it's kind of going to be a part of a healing thing for me. And I also want to do videos about things I'm interested in. I'd like to do a couple of commentaries or video essays on science fiction or Star Trek, or, just general interests that I have, and just sharing them with you guys as well, and sort of really making it into a community and conversational piece across social media, online, and at some point in person. And just, this is going to be sort of my way of reaching out, building a community with you guys, but also connecting with you guys sort of face to face, or over things like Skype and that sort of things, doing readings, doing guidance sessions. I do a lot of work on that now, and have been doing for the last year. So I've been working on that heavily, sort of behind the scenes, working with individual people, helping them, guide them through different things that they've been through, in life. And, sometimes break it back down to the basics, and break it back down to understanding not just the spiritual concepts, but the physical concepts, the emotional concepts, the plethora of the different things that we go through, and just really sort of share these insights and share this journey with you. And that's what this new channel is going to be about. And it's just, I'm no longer doing it for work. I'm doing it for fun. I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it because I want to do it, or I need to do it, and we'll see where it goes from there. And that's The website, when it's set up, is going to be spiritualworlds.org. I will ask Richard to put a link in the description for that, and we'll see where it goes. And I know that Richard's going to do some videos on this channel, and I may also make appearances now and then. I hope so. I want to say thank you to everyone who reached out, who commented, who asked after me. It was just time for me to step back and to look after myself and really come to grips and come to terms with all these different experiences that we've shown you guys over the years and we've talked about with you guys, and really start to get to know myself again, because I'm no longer the same person I was when I started this journey. I've grown, evolved, and there needed to be time to honour that. So thank you very much, and I love you all, and I'm hoping that we will meet down the road a ways. Take care.